And now, introducing tonight's main attraction. It's the Never Beens podcast.
We're back.
We are back. We are back.
There it is. I love the Tiger shirt.
Thanks.
I've been missing that.
Almost Friday. Tiger.
It is almost. Well, tomorrow it will almost be Friday.
True. This is.
And do you know what that means?
What does that mean?
It's almost member guest weekend.
Ooh, so not a guest day this week. An actual member guest.
Member guest. Ridgely 400. Ridgely Country Club.
Where's that?
Fort Worth, Texas.
Shout out, Jerry.
Shout out, Jerry. Shout out. And my partner, Mr. Blackerby.
Who's that?
Jason Blackerby.
I don't know who that is, do I?
No, you haven't met him. This beast that I played with at Shady Oaks one time.
What's Shady Oaks?
Another great old course in Fort Worth.
I can't keep up with all the Texas courses that you all throw out.
We got a lot of good golf courses here.
Shady Oaks Forest Trail? Is that a thing?
What?
No.
Trinity Forest.
Trinity Forest.
Trinity Forest is the one that Hatch is always
yes.
whining
What's the
about.
other one? What's the one you got me the hat from? It's like a tree thing, I think. Whispering Pines?
Whispering Pines. That's out in East Texas.
I can't. There are so many. It's almost like Pinehurst.
Texas is beast golf state. Way better than North Carolina, I'd say.
That can't be a real take.
Bullshit.
Do you actually think that?
Yeah.
There is good golf in Texas. I will say AGC, Austin Golf Club, might be one of my favorite courses ever.
Shout out to Joe Beck.
Joe Beck, the
Love
third?
AGC.
It's so good. He's the third, right? Or fourth?
Yeah, I think so.
Trey.
What do we got?
Well, we're still in the bullshit round. I want to hear more about what is 400.
The 400
Why is it called that?
There are 200 teams, so 400 players playing at Ridgely Country Club this weekend.
I think that's huge. No?
Yeah, it's a big member guest. Yes, it is.
What's typical for not hundreds big, isn't it?
100 teams?
Yeah.
The General Creek one only had like 96 teams.
Yeah, I want to say Charlotte's is like 70 or 75 maybe.
Yeah. So this one,
it's like three times the size. That's huge.
This is a big boy. Yeah.
Any kind of good pots or side bets? How do they do it?
I don't know. Calcutta tomorrow night. Yeah, Calcutta tomorrow night.
You aren't even going to be able to afford your team.
You don't think so?
You're such a bagger. You're going to go.
I don't have a very good. My game does not have a very good reputation at Ridgely Country Club. I shoot 150 every time I go over there.
Do you play both the courses?
Yeah, one round at each. I think.
All right. Enough golf talk. We'll check in next week and glance. Back to back.
Next week we have to do a President's Cup preview, which will be boring.
I can't believe it's already President's Cup.
Yeah.
Kind of snuck up on us.
Yeah. Time to dive in.
Quick prayer for our king.
Another surgery, of course. My God.
It seemed not that serious, but
they're all not that serious, but they're all serious.
May have been a PR thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Tiger, rest up. Buttercup.
Okay. Is it football time?
Yeah. You want to recap or
what's the recap about college football except Arch Manning with a day?
What's the is it Ewers?
He strained his open non-contact injury.
So how long is he out?
Oh, who knows? Couple weeks.
Is that a big injury for a quarterback?
I mean, yeah, throwing's all core.
Lead, trail.
I don't know that. I don't know that. But, whether you're stretching it or compressing it coming through.
Just don't be a bitch. Just suit up.
Whoa, unnecessary.
What are your thoughts on Arch?
Did I? Oh yeah, we recorded last. No, did we record last? Did I point out my guest day?
Yes, you bragged about what you stole from the guest day.
Still got it.
Have you opened it up yet?
Anyway, no, but it's a high rye bourbon. I think I'm going to make an old fashioned with it one of these next few nights.
You should make a victory old fashioned when you win this member guest.
Member guest. That'd be great. Back to back weekends winning member guests.
Well, guest day and then member guest.
Let's not put the cart before the horse. All right,
Okay.
I gotta play some good golf this weekend.
All right, back to Texas.
Yeah,
Who do they
I
have
mean,
this week?
I don't even know who they play, but number 1 team in the nation now, the Horns.
Are they really?
Yeah, jump Georgia
Just
after
because Georgia struggled?
Yeah. Did you hop on the Georgia money line train last week midway through the game?
Yeah, I convinced him to take money line and not spread. Can we give myself credit for that?
Sure.
All right, for the listeners.
Round of
Live.
applause.
Georgia was down 9-6, right?
Yeah, and they were still like minus 165. I think
I got minus 140, but that's when I locked it in.
I think it was 9-6 or something like that.
It depends on the book. I mean, I can show you I got minus 140.
No, I believe you. I'm just guessing the score.
No, it was 9-6, and they were on defense. I think
may have even gotten to 12-6. Did it go to 12-6?
No. It was 9-6, and I said in the live spread was minus 2.5, and I said
don't take the money line. I can see the final score being. Oh, I'm sorry, take the money line. Don't take the spread because I can see this final score being 13-12. Shout out.
What was the final score?
Shout out Coach Burse with the call daddy of the week.
Georgia wins by 1, and Georgia minus 2.5 would have been a losing ticket. So,
yeah. Well, not much happened in college football this weekend outside of that.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, so you're right. Game? So it was 9-6, and they made it 13-9, and then Kentucky kicked a field goal, and then they punted the game away. Yeah. The biggest game was Tennessee.
Oh, it was Mizzou. No, it was Mizzou, Boston College.
Which was actually a competitive, good, well played game. Yeah.
Apparently, I didn't realize. I heard on a different podcast, Mizzou hadn't allowed a podcast.
Point. Give them a shout out.
Foreplay.
Oh, the pod.
I don't know why they were talking about Missouri football.
Yeah. Stay in your lane.
But they said Missouri, they had the number 1 defense going in that game. They had allowed 0 points in week 1 and 2. But then Boston College took the kickoff and scored a touchdown to start the game. So
that was over pretty quick.
Yeah.
Okay, moving right along. Next week, I say there's not that many good games. There are a few games between.
This week, there's some good games.
Yeah, we do. We have a few. I misspoke. We got 5 games between ranked teams, or 4 games between ranked teams. We got Illinois versus Matt Rule and the boys.
Illinois ranked
24 versus 22.
And Nebraska's. Are they good? Is that quarterback good? I haven't watched them.
Hey, I know you've stopped tracking Coach Rule by week because
Well, they haven't. They don't play anymore.
Because he's been balling.
Well, this happened last year too, by the way.
No,
they didn't play anyone,
and then they lost to Colorado in week 2. He was rebuilding the program, and now it is 5 steps closer.
Did they lose to Colorado? Built. I thought they did beat Colorado.
No, they lost to Colorado. Their quarterback fumbled like 5 times. They should have won, and the quarterback fumbled and threw interceptions all day long.
But I'm pretty sure they got to like 6-3 and lost the last 4 games, or 5-2. It was something.
Your math is egregiously bad, but on the amount of games that college football teams play. We got USC, Michigan.
How many games do they play?
12. Unless you make it to the conference championship. USC at Michigan. USC
I
going
said
to the big house.
I said they were 5-3 and lost.
First, you said 6-3 and lost 4 in a row, and that adds up to 13. Okay, we will. USC, Michigan, going to the big house. 2 blue bloods. Excited to see what USC does. And, that win against LSU looked really impressive. And then LSU is just kind of,
they should have
lost.
Of
a better term,
they should have lost to South Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't been great since then. So interested to see what USC does on the road against a good defense, not a team that's going to do much on offense, but a good defense. Spread is USC minus 5.5 on the road. I like USC to win by about a touchdown. I think I'm going to take USC. Feel free to fade me. Feel free to fade me.
We are still really bad.
Yeah, I'm just as bad as I was. Utah going to Oklahoma State. Did you see the numbers there on the quarterback ages?
It's like 25 and 24.
Yeah, average age is 49, and average age of the quarterbacks starting like this week, and like whoever the Colts are playing, which we'll get into, is younger than that?
Not to add a fact check. Started the season 5-3 and ended on an L4. So
okay, well that wasn't
literally
what you said,
exactly what I said.
First, you said 6-3.
No. I said 5-3. Then
no,
I said
you didn't.
maybe
because
6.
you said no, you didn't. You said 6-3 because
We'll
that would have been bowl eligible. We'll go back and check. We'll rewind. It's fine. Tennessee.
Can you just give me props for knowing they started decently well?
Sure.
And
you can give me props for saying Matt Rule is a program rebuilder. Tennessee, Oklahoma.
They haven't played anyone. This is probably their best. This is their. How's that a dumb argument? This is how it's been argument. Everywhere it's been.
Tennessee at Oklahoma.
I don't care about that game. I want to talk about Rule.
Josh Heupel going back to OU. This is exciting stuff. Is Tennessee for real?
I think Tennessee might be one of the best teams in the country.
We don't have time to talk about Coach Rule and how great of a job he's done, again, rebuilding another college football team.
I mean, I guess the secret to rebuilding is just having a very weak schedule.
Yeah.
Like it's a good strategy, actually.
Like he has any control over that. That's the last ranked game. I like, based on Oklahoma's performance so far this year, Tennessee -7 on the road. I still think they win. I think Tennessee wins by double digits.
Really? I think they're really good.
Yeah. And I really like the kid at Oklahoma from Denton Geyer. Jesus.
Who? What?
Denton Geyer's a high school here in Texas. Jackson Arnold is the quarterback's name for Oklahoma. I think he's going to be a good player. He's a good young player, but I think Tennessee wins that game by 10 points.
Okay, call daddy. Your track record, listeners, take Oklahoma.
Not good. Feel free to fade me. I'm just telling you what I'm going to do and pick them.
Who's Wofford got?
Who cares? SMU. SMU TCU. Big game.
Already?
I'm not gonna. Yeah. Well, it's out of conference, so they got to play it early.
Looks like we're on a bye.
I'm not gonna throw shade at RCC and the Squirrel, but scheduling the member guest weekend of a crosstown rival, little strange. No.
Yeah, a little weird. Is the game at TCU?
No, it's at SMU. So I get that, but an away game there is a 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. A little strange, right?
Do you think there's a lot of Horned Frog fans?
Yeah, I do.
Within Ridgely?
Well, yeah, I would think so. Yeah. Hano, Horned Frog, Ridgely. Should I
Grifted Tree shout out?
Yeah, not Ridgely. But should I ask the pro about it this weekend? What you got in that cup, Pods?
Water. I just spilled some. Dumbo.
All right. Is it time to talk about pro football?
Yeah.
Love. I have a fastest 3 minutes recap ready.
All right. Let's get into it.
Time
me? Okay.
Yep.
Wait. Ready, go.
Bills dominate. Did not even need to throw the ball. Picked up Kincaid this week on a couple fantasy teams because he was available without having any targets in the first couple weeks. Probably shouldn't have been available.
But is he available?
I don't know. Hasn't gotten a bunch of targets. Does Tua need to retire? Quick, yes or no?
No.
That's a lot of concussions. Cowboys giving up 92 points last 2 games at home. I like that they were claiming that they were on a 16-game winning streak, yet the last home game was them getting throttled by the Packers in the playoffs.
People just conveniently leave out playoff losses.
Orlovsky brought up the fact that they've very much struggled against the Shanahan tree of offenses. The Shanahan, Clint Kubiak, Saints offensive coordinator. Matt LaFleur comes from the same tree. Interesting note, I thought. I just think that the Cowboys defense is a little overrated. Are the Saints legit? Scored on their first 15 possessions of the season. That breaks the record by 8.
I was going to say that's got to be some sort of record.
Yeah.
I mean, they played in the Dome twice. It'd be interesting. They're always, in the history of the Saints, it's always, let's wait to see them play outdoors in cold weather.
Well and good, but they're going to play 10 games inside this year.
True.
Maybe more.
I think they could be good.
8 or 9 home games, a game at Atlanta.
I mean, the defense is good. They got
Kamara
talent on
looking
defense.
like
I love Kamara. I've always liked. He's always been one of my favorite players.
This doesn't count against my 3 minutes. Bucks, huge win, redemption game. Lions, not great in the red zone. 7 trips to the red zone, I think it was. 1 touchdown. Bend but don't break. Todd Bowles' defense.
Swagger.
Yeah, they got 0 points.
They had a lot of guys out too on defense.
The Bucks, yeah. Aiden Hutchinson made the offensive line pay. That's for sure.
Beast.
Yeah, I think he had 4.5 sacks.
What?
Yeah, big show, big win though. Quarterback draw for a touchdown. Do you hear him? Do you see him hit the stiffy and roll into the end zone?
Beast.
Pack attack. I think everyone wrote him off after Love got hurt. Willis, I think. Again, going back to, I love talking about coaches. Just shows how important coaching is. LaFleur brought the best out in Willis. I think that's important to note.
What?
Jets.
Not to interrupt you, and this doesn't count. What was with that play where he said the center puked on the ball?
I saw the video. Center threw up on the ball, so he didn't want to throw it and risk the ball slipping out of his hand, I guess.
He knew?
Well, I guess he was probably soaking wet when he caught the snap.
Or do you?
I don't think he saw it. I bet he felt it when he caught the snap.
I feel like that's crazy.
That is crazy. Jets off the schneid, but nothing has looked easy. Shout out Breece Hall for being the MVP of my fantasy team. Speaking of not looking easy, what in the world is Will Levis doing trying to make something out of nothing?
Always.
The 2 screenshots, the one from him on his knees like this with the pick 6 from the Bears, and then
what'd you call it last week?
Surrender Cobra. And then fully spread eagle last week trying to flip the ball to whoever number 2 is on the Titans. Yikes.
God bless.
Back on coaching, the Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, absolutely balling with your boy Sammy D.
Sammy, how about that bomb?
97 yards to Jay Jettis. Do we have an injury report on Jay Jettis yet?
I haven't seen anything.
Okay.
Got nothing for you.
Would like to just jump around real fast. Panthers, my God.
Oh my! We'll dive into that a little bit. But
did you see the numbers?
In the world. Did
you see Sam and Baker's numbers with the Panthers and then since they left?
Yes. I don't remember the numbers, but it's...
Poor Bryce Young, man.
Finish your fact. We'll get back to that.
I just didn't have a chance. Okay, should we be worried about the 49ers? No Debo, no Christian for an extended period of time. You say no?
No.
I say yes. I say we should be worried.
It's back to your coaching.
That's true.
Overcoming.
That's true. The coaching should overcome, but their quarterback is Brock Purdy, who has been able to play with, 6 All-Pros all year, and now Deebo Samuel's out, Christian McCaffrey's out. You bring up a good point.
Sam Darnold.
Shanahan is very, very good. Giants, my God, first team ever in NFL history to score 3 touchdowns, give up 0, and lose.
First time ever.
Yeah, Graham Ganono got hurt, so they had to go for 2 all 3 times. Failed all 3 times. Austin Seibert, shout out a former teammate of mine, former Cleveland Brown, kicked 7 field goals for the Washington Redskins, and winner.
Team
Jags blow another game. My God, what in the world? What's going on in Jacksonville? Ravens, huge,
amazing.
I mean, that's a bad loss.
We'll get into it. Survivor, but great outcome for us.
Absolutely. I think that's a good. Okay, Kyler looking like an absolute baller. Just throw it to Marvin Harrison every play. Probably a good strategy. Should have done it week 1 a little bit. Steelers win ugly again. Justin Fields just managing the game well enough to win. Chiefs bailed out or right call? I think right call. I think right call too. I think the hands to the face, the play before when they converted, was not a great call. And then I think the pass interference was the right call. Yeah. So I can agree with that. Yeah, they're not, they're going to make you pay. I was listening to Pardon My Take, and everyone gets so mad, and they said, well, the reason that everyone gets so up in arms is because when there's a questionable call or an important call and it goes the Chiefs' way, they make you pay every single time. And it's already hard enough to beat them. And when you have a chance, you got to play perfect football. And the Bengals didn't. They take advantage. Bears have given Caleb Williams 0 chance. Not necessarily like all in on the Caleb Williams train like everybody else is. But I would like to say, just looking at, we talked about Bryce, we talked about Caleb, we talk about CJ Stroud, the the Texans built this thing the right way. They built all the pieces. They got an offensive line that could protect CJ. They got some weapons. They got a little bit of a defense after they completely fleeced the Browns on the Deshaun Watson trade, and then they drafted CJ Stroud. The Bears and the Panthers are doing it backwards, and you find out how important everybody else is on the roster.
Correct. And then it all links back, and it all affects each other.
Eagles, 99.3% chance to win the game with 3rd and 3. Throw the little roll pass.
Atlanta did not have a timeout.
He drops it. That's correct. They were going to still have time, but they weren't going to have much time.
They could not have done what they did, clearly.
No.
There was no timeout, right?
Now, Saquon's got to catch that ball, right?
I mean, that's the counter but he's notorious for not being the best pass catcher. So you're trying to, I mean, technically he made a great call because he was open, but you also have to take into account that he could drop that.
Catch 22, as Michael Scott would say.
But yeah.
How fast, how slow was the fastest 3 minutes? I'm going to guess 7 minutes and 15 seconds.
7:40. So if we take out the little stuff that didn't count, we're about 7 minutes.
Probably 5 minutes. You talked a lot during that.
Okay.
You stole the show from me a lot.
Okay.
Whew. Okay. Does this episode release before Thursday Night Football? Because it's worth talking about the fact that the Jets have not beat the Patriots in primetime since 2008.
The Jets have not
beat the Patriots in primetime since 2008, which is 16 years ago.
How many times have they played in primetime?
8 times, I believe, is what I saw, which is about once every 2 out of 3 years ish. Or no, once every other year because it's been 16 years. But foreshadowing there, the Jets are on my survivor pool list.
They were my 5th team that I put in. I don't like them, though.
They were my first, but only chronologically.
I don't like taking divisional matchups.
It's a fair point. And I think the game is maybe in New England. Is that right?
No, it's in New York.
No, it's in New York. Okay.
But still.
All right. That's all I got. Do we move on? Or do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the Panthers. What in the world? All right, I want to hear your take because living in Charlotte, that's all I hear, right? From friend groups to media.
Yeah, what's the scoop in Charlotte?
All right, Bryce benched. You have the majority of camp that has been blaming Tepper for every failure since 2018.
Sure.
You had majority of people giving Bryce the benefit of the doubt last season. He's a rookie, and we were terrible. First 2 weeks, he's looked historically bad, and Agreed. You've had people start to question him, and now it's kind of split, like good call, bad call. What do you think?
My thought is almost always, I just touched on this with the CJ Stroud. If you ain't got the guys, the rookie quarterback needs to sit. Let somebody else take the beating.
Well,
let somebody else get broken down and battered.
But they clearly thought they're wrong, but they clearly thought last year when they made that trade, it makes it even worse about what they gave up to get them. Right?
Yes, it does.
They're still giving up stuff. They owe Chicago. Chicago has their 33rd overall pick in next year's draft.
Yikes.
They don't have a 2.
I was going to say you're assuming that the Panthers get the first overall pick, but I think that's
pretty safe. It's locked in.
What do you think the odds are on that? My take is
minus money.
My take is that
seriously, I could probably pull that up.
My take is that it's a total disservice to these guys. You know, like,
but
especially early in the season.
Fitterer, the old GM, Tepper, I don't know if he was quoted, but they said it's the final piece. They felt they put together a winning roster, and they just.
You know what I have to say to that? Do you know what I have to say to that?
Oof, with a lot of O's.
Yeah.
So when you are clearly wrong about that, it's just a snowball effect. And you're just screwed. I mean, how far? I guess will have the first overall pick. How far back does this set them? What? Another point, not to talk about the Panthers so much, but during the lead up to the Bryce trade, they got rid of McCaffrey. They got rid of DJ Moore in the trade. They refused to trade Brian Burns to the Rams for 2 1s and then traded him to the Giants soon after for literally nothing. Nothing really made sense. So they got rid of a lot of their best offensive assets and then threw Bryce to the Wolves.
Yeah.
And now he's holding a clipboard with no confidence. And
I feel,
he doesn't know if he'll ever play again.
I feel terrible for the kid. Yeah.
Were you high on him coming out? I forget. We talked about it.
I don't think I was as high. I was not as high as everybody else. I mean, there's some challenges with him being so small and all that sort of stuff, but I don't think he's a bad player. You know,
Did you watch either of the first 2 games at all?
Well, here's my lone issue. Here's my lone issue with Red Zone, and I'm too cheap to purchase Sunday ticket. My lone issue with Red Zone is that my boy Scott Hansen jumps around so much.
Also, you wouldn't watch any Panthers offense on Red Zone.
Well, that's true. I probably wouldn't.
Literally have not scored a touchdown.
No, you're right. That's true. I probably wouldn't.
So
is that it? Is that it for week 2?
For week 2, yeah. Oh no. Well, we can talk about it later. Survivor.
What's that? Yeah, well, that's week 3 coming up next.
Yeah, but we recap week 2 of who we picked. But we'll do that next.
Love that.
Is that this segment? Are we to it?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're to it.
Hawk to it.
Ooh, that's nice. That's a good one. Another dub / voiceover.
All right. Survivor. We left you on a what?
Did you see my chat?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think
I'll pause it right there. All right. Just because we're trying to keep him to a half hour.
Yeah, we got 3 minutes. We can get it. What else do we have to talk about?
Next week, all of next week. NFL.
But that's kind of Survivor.
Just Survivor?
Yeah, it's like fast as 3 minutes.
26:45 or whatever. I'll cut it off right before I say timeout.
No, you just keep it in. Listeners, Glench is an idiot. Ignore what he was talking about. All right.
Okay, sure. Whatever you say.
You mentioned we already talked about New England Jets.
My chat said, "Do you want to make this 2 episodes then?" Since we're just
we're going to
keep it all out there. Yeah.
No, it's 1.
You're now the idiot.
We're going to preview week 3 by talking through our Survivor strategy.
Excuse me. Who did we settle on? Was that super loud?
No, it just sounded weird. Last week we left the episode at we were going to pick between Baltimore, Jacksonville, and Houston. And wow, did we avoid some grenades?
Yeah, we sure did.
We picked the only winner. We picked Houston.
Although
good call by you because I wasn't too sold on it.
We did discuss the Chargers, which I think a good strategy going forward is just to pick the team the Panthers are playing.
But we got a new Panthers era starting this week.
The Andy Dalton era.
And he balled last year.
The Red Rocket. Former teammate of mine.
Really? Where?
Yeah, in Dallas.
Dallas, that's right. Is he a good dude?
Great dude. Yeah.
Awesome. They're one of my 5, but I think I might nix it.
Also a Horned Frog.
Correct.
Yeah, they're playing the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
I don't trust the Raiders as far as I can throw them, regardless of their victory last week.
That's out.
Also on my list. Okay. Let's get into it. Who are your 5 picks?
My 5 leans.
If we have 5 picks this week, who are they? This is we're going to pick 5 Survivor options.
Tampa Bay. Playing good at home. Thoughts?
On my list.
Okay. Tampa Bay hosting the Broncos.
Yeah. I love
Feels
that.
kind of trappy. Feels trappy.
I think that Tampa Bay wins that game. I don't know that they cover. They're favored by 5.5, right? I don't know that they cover.
No. All right, we already mentioned it earlier. Jets hosting the Patriots. Jets were the 5th team on my 5.
Okay, on your list though.
I don't like that very much though.
Yeah,
but they should win that game, right?
Agreed. They should win this game. Yes.
Okay. Scrolling through my next one, the Browns.
Also on my list. Are we just picking?
We're just picking the biggest favorites at this point. Biggest home favorites. Browns, but the Giants have looked so bad. But I don't like the Browns that much.
Me neither. That's in my second tier.
Yeah, same.
I have 3.
We've already used Seattle, but Seattle would have been a good pick.
Seattle would be a good pick this week, yes.
Okay. Vegas, I feel like everyone's going to pick Vegas, so we should hope Dalton slings it out in Vegas.
Vegas also on my bottom. For Bryce Young's sake, I hope Andy doesn't necessarily sling it, but yes, you are correct.
It's not for Survivor, but the Rams are a touchdown favorite at home. Home divisional dog against the Niners.
The Niners are the touchdown favorite. The Rams are a touchdown dog.
Yeah, sorry. Touchdown dog. Home divisional.
Just like when you were talking about Rule.
Nope. We'll check the tape. That is outside of Survivor, my gambling lock of the week. This is not gambling advice. No, but Rams +7.
Disclaimer.
Hate all these. And then my last one is, unfortunately, the 0-2 Bengals at home.
Do we have all the same picks?
I mean, they're all the biggest favorites.
I know. I think the Bengals are probably my favorite pick of the week.
They're terrible.
They almost.
I think I might hate that one the most.
They really should have beat the Chiefs.
But I don't see a game in which I pick them ever again.
That's my point.
Well, I like pulling up full schedule. They do play at Carolina next week.
Oh. Yeah, but okay, we're talking about a team who went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, right? 3 years ago.
Doesn't matter. That's it.
This is a team that can win games, win big games, and they've shown it before. I do not like them. I'm with you. I'm off the boat.
I guess they almost won at Arrowhead.
They're 0-2. Their backs are against the wall, and they're playing a team that they should pummel.
They host Vegas. They go to the Giants.
So there's more options.
Tennessee. They host Denver late in the season. That could be
We're going to
save Cincy.
If I don't see us picking the Jets many more times, so if we're going to turn the Jets in, we got to make a decision.
I like Bucks.
My top 3 are Jets, Bucks, Bengals.
Same.
Jets, Bucks, Bengals in no particular order. So,
do we do what we did last week? Cut it to 3, and then
we
let them know who we
cut it to 3, and then we'll tell everyone we won.
It's going to be between.
No matter
Tampa.
what, we'll tell you guys we won. No matter what, one of those 3 teams is going to win.
Well, last week, one of the 3, and we.
Yeah, I know. One of those 3 will win.
We're beast.
We'll tell you guys. We'll tell everyone that we picked the right one.
I'm going to give every diehard. What do they call it? All world listener. AWL.
I don't know.
Everyone that's listens to every episode of the Never Bins, we will share our Survivor winnings
and nobody else.
All right, Griff the Tree, you get part of our.
That's my brother.
You get part of our Survivor winnings for listening and keeping us honest.
Is that all we got?
Because if we lie about it, then we have to pay our listeners. So that's our pact right now.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah. And we're not paying anyone anything right now, as you can see by the StreamYard tags on the screen. So.
Oh, okay.
Is it time to go?
Yeah, we're at we did that pretty quick.
I know. Presenting sponsor of the week, Brandon Lawn Real Estate. Is that the
BLRE? Olivia Burson Real Estate? Yeah, that's our presenting sponsor. Anyone buying or selling a home in the Charlotte area, please reach out to Olivia Burson at
Point Blank Ventures.
Oh, shout out. Point Blank.
And
BDSD Insurance.
Please get it right.
BDSD.
BSD Insurance.
Hit Garrett Gilbert up on LinkedIn if you need any insurance. Hop in his DMs. All right.
Time to go.
Say bye-bye.
Cut it off.